Hey friends, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss about one very interesting yoga, that is Neecha Bhanga yoga or Neecha Bhanga Raj yoga. Okay, friends, this is a very important yoga because even if it has the planets placed in Neecha or a debilitated sign, but it gives very good results to the native as the time passes on. Okay, and it is at times it goes for a Raj yoga also. It depends on the condition in which the planet is and what support the planet is getting in terms of the Neecha Bhanga. Okay, so why this yoga is very important? Because from adverse conditions also, the native goes to a very comfortable or more than comfortable life, or goes for abundance actually. Okay, so even though the person is born in a very any we can say that any basic or very low income family also, but the native becomes very rich in life due to this yoga. And to understand this I will explain in detail. And like I'll be explaining each and every step which is there and how to understand this. So firstly, to understand it better, we must like understand what is a Nietzsche condition. Okay, how the planet is getting in debilitated condition. So to see that, let's go to the next slide. And here you can see, so here I have placed each where each planet becomes goes for its debilitation. Okay, so you can see first let's see, Sun is a planet which is getting debilitated, or which is getting a niche in Libra, okay, or Tula side, and the degree of debilitation will be 10 degrees. Okay, so like 10 degrees, it is the highest point of debilitation. Suppose, for example, if to understand in a simple way, if you see your Sun is placed in Libra, that is the seventh number which is mentioned in the chart. Okay, so you can understand that the Sun is in debilitation condition here. Okay, and suppose it is in 10 degrees only, then it is quite very clear that Sun is completely debilitated in the chart, or Sun's condition is in debilitation. Okay, then next, going further, like how to understand if Moon is debilitated. So Moon, if you see that Moon is placed in Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, which is the eighth site. So suppose anywhere if you see in the chart Moon is placed in 8. Okay, so you can understand that Moon is debilitated, and it, if the debilitation is happens in 3 degrees, means it's to the highest level. Okay, it's completely debilitated. But friend, just one point I would like to add here. Moon is, even though it is debilitated, the condition will be different, because as we see, Moon is the karaka for mother. Okay, so mother has no enemies, or there won't be any debilitation, even if the child is it can be, the child can have any can be of any time, but mother is always is a mother to the child. So that's why Moon's debilitation is a different or a very complicated thing. But if to understand in a when we see the debilitation, we can say that if Moon is placed in Scorpio, then Moon is debilitated in the chart. Okay, so if the degree of debilitation should be 3 degrees. Okay, so next, going back here, if Mars, okay, Mars is placed in Cancer sign. Okay, Cancer is 4. Okay, so if you see your Mars is placed in Cancer, that too in 28 degrees, means it's a highest level of debilitation, and it is Mars is debilitated in your chart. Okay, so if you see Mars is placed in number 4, okay, I repeat, the number is 4 and degree is 28 degrees, then it is debilitated in the chart. And let's say going forward, like if Mercury, okay, so Mercury is placed in Pisces. Okay, and and the degree is 15 degrees. Okay, Pisces is the 12th number sign, or 12th Rashi. So if you see that Mercury is placed in 12th sign, or the number mentioned as 12, and the degree of debilitation is 15 degrees, then Mercury is debilitated in Pisces. Friends, Mercury's position is very important in the chart, because most of the charts we will see that Mercury will be resulting as it is combust. Okay, because it's, if it goes very close to sun, then it becomes combust. So most of the chart we will see that it's combust actually. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, but anyways, if Mercury, we see that Mercury is in Pisces or 12th sign with 15 degrees, then Mercury is debilitated in the chart. Okay, then comes Jupiter. Jupiter, if it is placed in Capricorn sign, that is the 10th number sign, if it is placed in 5 degrees, then Jupiter is debilitated in the chart. Okay, then next one is Venus. If Venus is placed in Virgo and in 27 degrees, then Venus is debilitated in the chart. Okay, and the degree is 27 degrees. If it is Venus is, if you see Venus is placed in sixth, number 6 side, okay, it is in debilitation condition, and the degrees will be 27 degrees. Okay, now going back to Saturn. Okay, if Saturn is placed in Aries and the sign number will be 1. Okay, if you see that Saturn is placed in number 1 Rashi, or the number 1, if mentioned in your chart, Saturn is placed and the house number is mentioned as, or the sign number is not the house number, the sign number is mentioned as 1, then it is debilitated in the chart, and the degrees of debilitation will be 20 degrees. Okay, so here I have not included Rahu and Ketu because they are shadow planets. Okay, they are not, their behavior is completely different. Yes, it has debilitation and exaltation also, but that's different. I'm just putting here for a main 7 planets which are very dependent. Even we can go for Rahu and Ketu also, but that is different, that I have not added here. I have just added till this 7 planets. I hope this is very clear to you, like when we can understand that this particular planet is debilitated in the chart. Okay, so now when we see and we understand that yes, this is a debilitation, so how to escape? Okay, is there any escape from this one, or like is there any way that this debilitation can give good results? Okay, because debilitation, whenever we see that a planet is in debilitated condition in any of the charts, it means that there is some backlog which is there in the chart. Okay, due to which it is not, it is in such condition. At times we will see that 2 planets can also be in debilitated condition. Okay, so there we can see that a lot of backlogs or karmic backlogs, due to which the planet goes into debilitation condition. Okay, so these debilitation condition, why it matters is, when any planet is placed in debilitation sign, it is not going to give very good results to us. Okay, and the interesting part here is, this is not the enemy sign. Okay, if it can be a friendly sign also, but the planet is not happy in that sign. Okay, I will not use the word house, because house is 12 houses, it can be in any house, but sign. Okay, suppose, let's see, I'll show you very good example here. Venus is debilitated in Virgo. Okay, Virgo is a sign of Mercury. If we see, as per the relationships, Venus and Mercury is a friendly sign. Okay, Venus, for me, Venus, Mercury is a friendly planet. Okay, but Mercury, Mercury's own sign is Virgo. Mercury is exalted in that sign, but Venus, even though it's a friendly planet, but it is debilitated out there. Okay, one peculiarity, or one interesting here, I will show one more thing is, if we see in this way, I was saying you, like even though the planet, like any planet which is there in debilitation, like sign, whenever it goes for debilitation, the simple meaning is it's not happy or it's not performing well. Okay, and due to, maybe it can be due to any reason. Okay, so how we will understand that if something is there which can really help us, or which can actually help with gaining benefits from this condition also, then the answer for that is also lies in this chart only. So how we will understand that? First of all, we have to see that if the owner of that sign is also placed there in that sign, or it is an exaltation. Okay, now as we have just seen about debilitation, now I will show you something which is known as planet's own sign. So planet is always comfortable in its own sign. Okay, so here I have as you can see in this slide, you can see that a sun sign is Leo, moon is Cancer, Mars is Aries and Scorpio, Mercury is Gemini and Virgo, Jupiter is Sagittarius and Pisces, Venus is Taurus and Libra, and Saturn is Capricorn and Aquarius. Okay, so now here the logic, a very logic comes here is, suppose we can say that, you know, when as I told you, Venus is suppose debilitated in the chart. Okay, so Venus will obviously get debilitated when Venus is placed in Virgo. Okay, so the answer for us is like, suppose the Venus is debilitated in Virgo, but Mercury is placed in Virgo only. Okay, so as I told you, this is sixth sign. Okay, if you see here, Mercury is also there and Venus is also there. Okay, so Venus is anyways, it has got debilitated in Virgo, but the sign Lord is also placed in the same sign. Okay, and the best thing is sign Lord is placed in the exaltation sign. Okay, so here this is the first rule of debilitation, which says that sign of that Lord is also placed here only. Okay, so let us understand in one interesting way, one more interesting example. Okay, let's say for example, we can say that as you know, moon will get debilitated in Scorpio. Moon will get debilitated in Scorpio, right? So sign of this Lord. Okay, so Scorpio is a Rashi which belongs to Mars, right? So moon is getting debilitated in Scorpio, but Mars is also present in this sign only. Okay, or Mars is placed in own sign, that is Scorpio. Okay, so this debilitation is getting cancelled because the owner of this house will help this moon to perform better, or at least it will help help in you know, at least it will not they will be there to save that house, we can say. Okay, or that sign. Okay, because owner of the sign is there, so it becomes, it makes the condition very strong. Okay, so that's why after the native will face some challenges in his life, it can be on the early time, most of the cases it is in the early part of the life. Okay, then this debilitation will get cancelled, and it will result in first condition is, if the debilitation will get conditions, it will result in Neecha Bhanga. And if there is this powerful, as I told you, if this is a powerful yoga which happens, and here if this is particularly happening in suppose we can say it is a Virgo ascendant only. Okay, if Virgo ascendant only, Venus is getting debilitated in the first house in Virgo ascendant, and Virgo is, or Mercury is also placed in the ascendant only. So here we can say that it's a very powerful yoga which is you know, which is formed here, which is known as Neecha Bhanga Raja Yoga, because here the first thing is Mercury is making here that is a Pancha Mahapurush Yoga. Okay, that I will discuss in another video where I'll explain what is a Pancha Mahapurush Yoga. It is very powerful yoga, and there we can see that, so Mercury is you know, it is forming a Panchamahapurush yoga, plus Venus is also debilitated, but the debilitation is getting cancelled and it is forming a Neecha Bhanga Raja Yoga. Okay, I hope this example, at least if it tells something, you know, to you for this one. I will continue this video in the next you know, next part of the, in the next video. Okay, I'll continue this one, because if I make one video, that will be very long. I'll discuss few more examples to give you more clarity on this one. So with for this video I'm stopping here, but I'll continue in the next video. Please do check that video also to understand more. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please like this and subscribe, and if you have any doubts or anything, like, you can put in comments. I will check and I'll respond to your any questions that you have. Thank you so much for watching this video, friends.